Aloha, y'all. Daniel Aaron with you. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. True? Maybe, probably. Right? If you go to the Japanese concept of katsugi, did I say it correctly? That's such a beautiful principle that when something breaks, rather than try and replace it or fix it to exactly the way it was, you glue it back together and you put some gold around the glue, and the seeing where it was broken makes it more beautiful. Interesting. I'd been at Humaniversity the first time I was there. I was there for 2 weeks. No, actually, this wasn't the first time that I was there. The first time, I'll tell you about that, but it was later when I was actually living there. And I'd been living there at this point, maybe a month and a half, which in human years, dog years, human years, in human years, that's like a year, a month and a half, because it's so intense, so full on there. And I said to the sort of leading therapist at the time, I'm concerned. The sleep deprivation, it's I don't know if I can handle it. It's I'm worried. She said to me, we used to do a lot more. It used to be a lot more severe, this sleep deprivation. The thing is, one, people can handle a lot more than they believe. Two, yes, we do want you to break down. We want you to break down here where we can put you back together with love. Now, I didn't know really anything about Humaniversity when I first went there. What is it, by the way? It's a radical therapy center in Holland. It's a university. It's an addiction recovery center. It's a place that was started by a man named Viresh, who was one of the right-hand men of Osho, Sri Bhagwan Rajneesh. Viresh was a former heroin junkie, 14 years. Not many people last that long as a heroin junkie. He eventually got clean, and then he became a therapist. And then he went to India, and then he met his guru, and he became, quote, enlightened. Was he enlightened? I don't know. What does it mean? I don't believe in enlightenment. Enlightenment sounds like before and after. That's not how it works. The first time I went to live at Humaniversity, okay, I'd done the 2 weeks. I had a mind-blowing experience when I was there for the 2 weeks, my immersion. Scary and hard, and I resisted, and I had big breakthroughs. I had a Satori experience. By the end of that, I said, I want to come live here. I knew there was another level for me. And when I moved there, one of the first questions was, what do you think's going on here? Why are you here? And I remember so clearly saying, well, I believe this is a place to get the negativity out. And that was affirmed in some way by the person doing my intake interview that time. Now, here's the thing. There are a lot of methodologies that are about getting the stuff out, right? Even if you go back to Warner Earhart and EST, the EST training, and even to some degree Landmark, although Landmark education came out of EST and it softened things down a bit, you could say that that type of approach coming out of the 70s maybe was perturbation. It was poke the bear. It was stir up your stuff. It was really effective for me. Humaniversity, it knocked me down over and over and over again, whether it was the sleep deprivation, the intensive confrontative therapies. Right? Wow, man, it was tough. Really, really tough. And yet so much evolved for me. I learned so much there. And eventually it bounced me out, right? My nervous system was fried and I was exhausted. And maybe I'd gone as far as I could. I don't know. Here's what I believe now, though. I mean, one, make it sure I'm clear about this. I'm incredibly grateful for the time I had at Humaniversity. And I could talk for ages about it. And I've got several stories in my book, The Art of Spiritual Leadership, about my experience there, and other videos about it. And I'm also really glad that I've learned in my own work, and I've been working with people for about 30 years now, that perturbation, well, one, it's not my way, right? I will go as deep with a client as they want to go, right? We can go all the way down into the deepest, darkest, scariest stuff if they want to go there. I will not push them or perturb them into it. And in my early days of working with people, I did do some of that. That's a lot of what I'd seen modeled and seemed like the way. And I think in some way that's also representative of the journey we've been on with humanity, right? In the 60s and 70s, that revolutionary period, Pluto and Uranus kind of energy, it really was about breaking things down, and we were denser. Things were moving more slowly. We had to, in some ways, work harder, right? And still, there's something for us to learn about this now, because even if you take it as simple, like if you're like, oh, this is all weird therapeutic stuff you're talking about here, Daniel, take it this way. Complaint, right? Complaint is, interestingly enough, a somewhat debated topic. I've spoken about being complaint-free and how I have eradicated complaint from my life, which doesn't mean, by the way, that sometimes that I never forget and do complain. I am committed, though, to complaint not being part of my life. Every day I speak out loud, complaint has no place. And a few times when I've espoused the virtues and the benefits of eradicating complaint, a few people say, whoa, no. Complaint is good, right? And there's something to it, because yes, when we say, blah, 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 right, we vomit it out, we spit it out, we do feel better for an instant. But that's the thing. Out, and then something comes in to fill it up, right? Of the same vibration, the same energy. And that's very much like perturbation, catharsis, right? The energy of, I don't like the way this feels. Yuck, let me get it out. Right? There's a lot of the therapeutic world that still operates that way. And it's not that it's bad, and it can have a place. And certainly one of the benefits that I experienced was it brought me aware of some emotions that were held down that I didn't even know were there. When I got that flow moving, it's like, in a fireplace, when you get the air moving up, it creates a draft, and so things move. However, if it's not followed up with integration, with transformation, then it just creates more of the same. That's part of why complaint, right? The two options, the old options we used to see were, oh, I don't like this the way this feels. Push it down, I don't like it. Or, oh, I don't like this the way this feels. Blah, get it out. Throw it on to somebody else somehow. There's another option. Understand it, love it, heal it, forgive it, relax and let it go, understand it, find its place. It's a cool era we live in. Catharsis, complaint, perturbation, they're relics. We're in an era where healing and understanding is coming faster than ever. So even though I intended this to be more of a telling some of the radical, wild stories, there was some really strange stuff we did at Humaniversity. That's not where I'm at right now. I'll tell more of those stories another time. They're fun. They're interesting. Kooky. For now, though, love, forgiveness, integration. That's where it's at. I hope this is helpful. I hope it's interesting. I love that you are here. Thank you for being interested in the art of vibrant living.